The US Coast Guard has successfully tracked and intercepted a runaway oil tanker suspected of transporting crude oil linked to Iran and Venezuela, marking another significant move in Washington's ongoing effort to enforce international sanctions and curb illicit energy trade. The operation highlights growing maritime vigilance as sanctioned nations increasingly rely on covert shipping networks to move oil across global waters. According to US officials, the tanker had deliberately switched off its tracking transponder, a common tactic known as going dark, to avoid detection while traveling through strategic shipping lanes. Such behavior is often associated with ships attempting to bypass sanctions by concealing their origin, destination, or cargo. Despite these efforts, advanced maritime surveillance systems and coordinated intelligence sharing allowed authorities to identify the vessel's suspicious route and flag it for interception. The tanker is believed to be part of a broader shadow fleet used by Iran and Venezuela to export oil despite strict US and international sanctions. These fleets often rely on aging vessels, falsified documentation, ship-to-ship transfers, and complex ownership structures designed to obscure accountability. Analysts say these tactics pose serious risks not only to global energy markets, but also to maritime safety and environmental protection. Once the vessel was located, the US Coast Guard moved swiftly to monitor and track its movements. Officials emphasized that the operation was conducted in accordance with international maritime law, focusing on inspection, verification, and enforcement rather than escalation. The tanker was reportedly compelled to halt its voyage while authorities reviewed its cargo records, ownership details, and compliance with sanctions regulations. The incident underscores the Biden administration's and previously the Trump administration's continued commitment to enforcing sanctions on Iran and Venezuela, both of which rely heavily on oil exports for government revenue. US officials argue that proceeds from illicit oil sales help fund activities that undermine regional stability, support authoritarian regimes, and weaken international norms. Maritime security experts note that sanction evasion through shipping has become increasingly sophisticated, with oil prices fluctuating and global demand remaining strong. Sanctioned states are incentivized to find new ways to move crude to willing buyers. This has led to a rise in high-risk maritime practices, including disabling navigation systems, forging port records, and conducting nighttime transfers at sea. Environmental groups have also raised alarms about the growing use of poorly maintained tankers in these operations. Many shadow fleet vessels lack proper insurance and safety oversight, increasing the risk of oil spills that could devastate marine ecosystems and coastal economies. US authorities argue that cracking down on these ships is not only a matter of national security, but also environmental responsibility. The Coast Guard's success in tracking the tanker sends a clear message. Attempts to evade sanctions will face increasing scrutiny. Officials say the US is expanding cooperation with allies, satellite monitoring capabilities, and artificial intelligence tools to better identify suspicious maritime behavior in real time. As geopolitical tensions involving Iran, Venezuela, and global energy markets continue, experts expect more such encounters at sea. The latest operation reinforces the idea that oceans are no longer the lawless space some smugglers assume them to be. With enhanced surveillance and international coordination, the net is tightening around illicit oil trade, one tanker at a time.